Hey there folks, Graham here and welcome to the channel. Today we're talking microphones and I wanted to take you through the 4 microphones that I have in my studio, some of the key differences between them, why I have them and what I use them for. So without further ado, let's get started. So in the studio I have a Behringer Bigfoot, which I'm talking to you on at the moment, which is a USB condenser microphone. Over my left shoulder I have an Electro Voice ND76A dynamic microphone. Over to my right in the corner I have a Studio Electronics X1S condenser microphone, complete with pop filter in front of the mic and a reflection filter wrapped round behind the microphone. And also have a Rode Wireless Go microphone setup, which includes a transmitter and a receiver. And I use the Rode Wireless setup in conjunction with a lavalier microphone attached to a headset connected to the wireless transmitter. But why do I need 4 microphones? What are the differences? And what do I use them for? Well, each of them performs a specific purpose in my studio, and each of them is pretty much designed specifically for that purpose. The Behringer Bigfoot that I'm talking to you on at the moment is a USB condenser microphone and is perfectly suited and designed for doing voiceovers such as this for YouTube videos or podcasts, and is primarily what I use it for. The dynamic mic over my left shoulder is pretty much a live performance tool. It's most suited to recording loud sources such as guitar amps, drums, or loud vocals such as in a live situation. And I use it predominantly when I'm recording myself doing live performances in the studio. The condenser microphone over in the right hand corner, on the other hand, is the microphone that I use for studio recording rather than live performing. A condenser microphone is much more sensitive than a dynamic mic and is the microphone predominantly used in studios for recording vocals. The reason for this is the condenser mic is much more sensitive than the dynamic mic and can capture all of those nuances, the highs, the lows, etc. of a vocal performance. Coupled with this, to get the cleanest recordings, I have a pop filter in front of the microphone and also the reflection shield round the back, which helps to absorb some of the sound and avoid it bouncing off some of the walls in my room here. And the wireless microphone setup with its lavalier mic in the headset connected to a wireless transmitter is designed for when you want to talk on the move as such. So I use this in my studio when I'm either performing live and moving around keyboards and so don't want to be fixed to one position for a microphone, or indeed where I'm making videos such as these and I'm moving around the studio demonstrating different pieces of equipment and I don't want to worry about whether I get too far away from the microphone and my voice dips out at all. With this, the microphone is attached to my face and so the volume remains constant. So each is really designed for a different purpose and I use them for those different purposes. Now let's dig into a little bit more detail on each microphone and give you a demonstration of the sound quality of each of them in turn. Starting with the Behringer Bigfoot, as I said, this is a USB condenser microphone and I predominantly use for making the voiceovers for my YouTube videos, especially when I'm talking direct to camera as I am now. It's a very simple piece of kit, easy to use. You just plug it into the USB in your computer and away you go, and then I've got it set up as a sound source in OBS for recording my videos. It does have a number of features on it in terms of different polar patterns that you can use, from omnidirectional to stereo to cardioid, etc. And if you want more details on that, I do have a full video around the Behringer Bigfoot on my channel. The reason I got this microphone is I wanted something that could sit on my desk for easy access and I didn't have to keep moving microphones around. So as you can see, I've got this attached to a boom arm, which I shall just move around a little bit so I can swing the microphone anywhere I want on the desk, and effectively I just swing it into camera shot when I want to make a video, and when I'm finished I just swing the microphone out of the way and it serves its purpose perfectly. And as you can hear, I've been using this to talk so far throughout the video. It gives pretty damn good sound quality. Next up is the Electro Voice dynamic microphone, which I'm talking to you on at the moment. Pretty simple affair. It's effectively the microphone with an XLR cable attached into it. That's running into my TC Helicon vocal unit and then running into my audio interface. I could of course just run it straight into the audio interface, but I have the TC Helicon unit there so I can apply various vocal effects when I'm performing. For example, I've just turned on a bit of reverb and delay in the vocal effect unit, and I could use this if I was singing a performance. And there we are, back to just the clean voice setting. One word of advice here: if you are looking for a microphone for recording vocals for songs, your best bet is a standard microphone with an XLR input into an audio interface rather than a USB condenser. USB mics are great for attaching to your computer and recording voiceovers, as I've said, for podcasts, YouTube videos, etc. But getting the sound from your USB mic into your DAW for recording purposes is a little bit more elaborate. With a standard microphone, it's just XLR cable into your audio interface, and then your audio interface via USB straight into the DAW on your computer. So that's the Electro Voice dynamic microphone. Then we have the Studio Electronics X1S condenser microphone, which I've removed from its stand over in the corner. I've got it sitting in front of me here now on the boom arm. I could indeed have used this for making my YouTube videos, but it means constantly rewiring, moving it off the stand, putting it on the boom arm, etc., which is why I got the Bigfoot microphone. So I've got, as I said earlier, microphones in place for all different purposes. Like the dynamic microphone previously, this is just an XLR input into my vocal unit and into the audio interface. But as I said earlier, this is the microphone I use for my vocal recording for songs that I'm going to be releasing on Spotify, Amazon, etc. And the reason for that is a condenser microphone is much more sensitive than a dynamic microphone and much more suited to vocal recording in a studio setting. In general, condenser microphones also give a much clearer, more natural sound than necessarily a dynamic microphone. And like the dynamic microphone, there's not a lot to it either. Plug the XLR cable in. There's a couple of little switches on here for reducing decibel levels, and there's also a sort of a high low shelf filter for cancelling out any slight little background rumble or noise or things like that. But other than that, it's a pretty simple microphone and it does the job very well. And finally, we have the Rode Wireless Go microphone, which I'm talking to you on now. And as I said earlier, I've got connected to a lavalier microphone running into the wireless transmitter, which is transmitting to a receiver, which is then connected to my vocal unit and connected to the audio interface. This microphone is a very small omnidirectional condenser, so it will pick up sound from all around it. By having it in the headset and having it close to my mouth, it really helps with gain staging, that I pretty much just pick up my voice and not too much of the surrounding sound. I tend to find if I use a lapel mic on my chest that I get a lot of echo from the room because it's not particularly well soundproofed or treated, and so using the headset gives me a much better sound quality. And I use this wireless setup for when I want to move around the studio when I'm talking. If I move my head from left to right, it doesn't matter because the microphone is always by my mouth. If I want to make a YouTube video where I am demonstrating various keyboards, etc., and talking around the studio and moving away from the camera and my desk microphones, then again it doesn't matter because I'm attached to the microphone. And I also use this for live singing performances where, unlike with the dynamic mic and I'm in a fixed position in front of the piano, I may be singing and moving around the studio, or I may be playing guitar and keyboards and various other things, but I still want to be able to sing, and the wireless setup allows me to do that. As with my other mics, running it through the vocal unit in the corner here, I can quickly change to, say, a reverb and delay preset. So here I am with a bit of reverb and delay running through my wireless microphone, a setting that I would probably use for some of my vocals on some of my tracks. And here we are, just back to the normal voice setting, but still talking through the Rode Wireless Go. and the accompanying lavalier microphone. So that's my 4 mics, as you can see and hear. Each one is a little different, each one serves a different purpose, and they all sound pretty good. Evidently you don't need 4 microphones in your studio necessarily, it's just sort of how my setup evolved for my needs. However, I thought I would demonstrate some of the options that are available for people out there that I may be trying to decide what microphone they need and what best suits their needs. So that's everything for now. If you've got any questions, please feel free to leave them in the comments below, and I will do my best to answer each and every one of them. Or indeed, if you just want to leave a comment, please feel free to do so, as all feedback is greatly appreciated. Oh, and if you have enjoyed this video, please don't forget to like, subscribe, and ring that bell for future content. It really does help me to grow the channel and bring you more videos like these. But for now, I've been Graham, take care, and catch you later.